claims everything is being inspected. It's great. It's like seeing John Wayne.
My name is Paul James. I host this news every morning.
And the Golden Angel Award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences, brothers, sisters. Welcome to the East-West show. Jack Chow as your host. Today, joining me is my dear friend, Mr. Ken Hemming. Mr. Ken Hemming has been with me for quite a long time. Not only am I so smooth with him every time on the show, but I learn from the argument at the times when I was not in agreement with him. And I still feel it's a chance to learn from each other. And by learning from each other, we grow. And speaking of grow, though, I myself, example, I was on the left side quite a bit in the very beginning. And I feel proud I did that. But later, when I started to see more and more what I did not want to see, I kind of regret it. I kind of backed off. I kind of switched myself to the middle. Now I am almost in the middle of the road, looking at both aisles. I know I see all.
Yes.
So now, with that, would like to start today with the subject of the Democratic National Convention, virtual convention.
Yeah.
So, all right. So to Ken, welcome to the show.
Jack, this week the Democratic Convention, next week the Republican Convention. It's like going from hot to cold or cold to hot. They're going to be totally opposite in presentation and in substance. And I guess I'm having a good time because, you know, we're only like 70 some days away from the election. And I believe the soul of America is at the election, who depending on who wins. And so I've been watching the last 2 nights. There's 4 nights this week of the Democrat National Convention. But let me start out with 2 cute things, okay, that are really quite powerful. This morning I was looking at interior pictures of Air Force One, and it looks pretty nice inside there, okay? But also, it showed a picture of President Trump sitting there kind of at a table eating McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
President Trump is famous for McDonald's and burgers and eating all the stuff that we're not supposed to eat.
He's that trash food all the time.
Yeah, that's why he's 6'3" and weighs 240. And one very interesting thing, too, his son Barron, I just read this yesterday, he's 14. He's already taller than President Trump. He has just had an explosion of growth, and it's looking pretty cool. You know, his mom's tall, Melania, and anyway, and he's going to be ridiculously handsome. But I mean, at 14, he's a tall puppy. And then also today, for the first time ever in corporate history in America, Apple achieved a market value of $2 trillion.
Trillion with a T.
Trillion. That's a lot of zeros. $2 trillion. Now, I bought Apple, but I never bought enough of it. But
1 trillion has 13 zeros.
Yeah, and this is two of them. So it's really quite amazing. It's at about $4.56 a share now, and some people are saying it's going to go, you know, to 700 or 800. Now, you know, I mean, I've bought stock and made money. I've bought stock and lost money. I think I'm going to try to buy a little bit more, and maybe I'll lose some more. I don't know, but it's really very exciting things that are happening. Now, that in terms of Monday and Tuesday at the Democratic National Convention, you know, it's really. I'll make an overall comment, okay? Now, they've had many what they call ordinary people or future stars of the Democratic Party, you know, make small statements and comments. I still have not heard.
I believe Bernie Sanders was a big role in the whole in day one, right?
Day one, we had Bernie Sanders and Michelle Obama. Now, Bernie Sanders was the only one of all the speakers that seemed the happiest. He was glowing, okay, and I'll tell you why. He believes he has, and he's probably right, taken over the Democratic Party, okay? Joe Biden is just a placeholder, and he's not going to be making the critical decisions because he has mental issues that I feel sorry for him about. Very sincerely feel sorry. And Bernie Sanders was glowing. He says, you know, we've got to get rid of Trump, and then we can get more of our radical leftist, socialist, whatever agenda put upon America, which will completely destroy our country.
How did Michelle Obama impress you?
First, Michelle Obama. You know, and one thing that's very important, you say virtual. These are all pre-recorded. None of them have the courage.
Of course.
No, but it shouldn't be, of course. They don't have the courage to do it live because they don't have the talent to do it live.
No, I believe at the time of the current situation, the GOPs will do the same thing.
President Trump will not do pre-recorded.
They will.
He is not afraid of the truth.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Within a week.
Yeah.
And I would say
his acceptance
I have no
speech.
problem if both parties did this whole thing virtually.
Okay, I do because
I have no problem with that.
yeah.
It is the content. It is what they say. It is what they are after that counts.
Well, let's talk about the content.
Why I ask you
Yeah.
how did Bernie Sanders and Michelle Obama impress you?
Well, Bernie Sanders was the happiest person because he believes that he will be the architect for the destruction of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights in America as a republic. Because he has, you know, he's not even a Democrat, okay? He's always been an independent. And don't forget, you know, he honeymooned in Moscow, you know, and he's not an American. He doesn't love America. He doesn't. And he's been plugging away trying to destroy us for like 40 years. And he never really had a good job. And then he got into a city council in a small little place, and then he kind of, you know, creeped his way up the ladder.
What did Michelle Obama impress you?
Well, number one, she spoke way too long. She spoke a long time.
Very too long, yes.
Very, very too long. And the whole essence of what she said was nothing good, nothing positive about America, massively negative about President Trump. And let me remind you and your viewers, Jack, when in 2008, when Obama was first elected, she stated from her mouth that I have never been proud to be an American till now. Now, that's not a very positive, nice, America supportive statement. That statement blew my mind off my shoulders back then when she said that, and it still does. I have never been proud to be American until now.
I have never been so proud. There's a word "so" missing.
You're right.
Yeah. If you put
You're brilliant.
You would put "so" there.
Yeah.
Well, she's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
And
that's
she
my
was
point.
being-
That's not
yeah.
my point.
Okay.
My point is that both Bernie Sanders and Michelle Obama has kind of showing me an angle, right? They support Joe Biden for the purpose of fighting against Donald Trump.
Okay.
As long as we are fighting against Donald Trump, we're okay.
Jack, you hit it right on the nose because I've heard probably 50 people make little talks, okay, on this in the last 2 nights. I have not yet heard one word positive and proud of
That's
America.
exactly
not one.
what I've been chasing after.
Right, and they do not say anything about their agenda, which I know what it is.
Yes.
And all it is just the hatred of Donald Trump because he was not a politician and he came in and he took over both the Republican Party and the country, coming in as a business person that wants things done in a more efficient way for the average American citizen to have a better life.
Yeah, both of them kept on saying how bad Donald Trump had been as a president of the United States.
And he's one of the greatest presidents we've ever had.
And none of them mentioned anything about what they want to offer to America.
You're exactly right. You know, that's why we're friends.
I'm
You're exactly right.
hungry. I'm hungry for that.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
I'm anxious to know what you guys, hey, I know you guys great.
Yeah.
Right? Like show me.
like Missouri. Show me.
Like the Missouri say,
Yeah.
the show me
The
state.
state. Oh, you're
show
good.
me what you have.
You're so good,
That's
Jack.
it.
Yeah, you're so good.
Yeah. So I'm waiting. I've been waiting the whole length, especially with Michelle Obama, because the extensively long speech. I've been waiting. Oh my God! Give me a break. Give me a break. I was crossing my legs
Me
waiting
too.
for that. And finally, I decided to go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
and came back for
she
it.
was still going. Yeah.
I still heard
Yeah.
nothing about that kind.
Well, see, and the thing is, she talked with the low tone, and it was all
No,
in
not
negative-
necessarily.
Yeah, well,
Not
she didn't raise her
necessarily.
voice much. You know?
Not necessarily. There was in the part in the middle.
Okay.
And then she was very, 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 very loud. Okay, now.
Okay.
Being loud is not a problem,
Yeah.
right? Being low is not a merit anyway, right?
But-
I'm saying that we are missing exactly the point. What exactly you want to do?
And she was she was like an actress in a tragic movie. She was so dramatic. She was so emotional. She was so into the problems of America.
For example, they both criticized the handling of the pandemic
Oh, of course.
by Donald Trump.
Of course they did.
All right. Now, I know nobody is perfect, including Donald Trump.
Right.
There might be better ways. Okay, speak out.
Yeah. But
Speak out. What is the better way?
Right. Oh, no, they never have said anything.
What if this is your hand? What you would have done?
Oh, they don't say that.
Give
No.
me that.
But now let me
All
tell
right.
you.
Unless
Yeah.
I someday hear that, I will not capitulate.
I won't
All right.
either.
Okay, my dear friends, let's take a moment out. We will come back and continue. We have to talk. We have a lot to talk about. However, the lot always remains in the center of show me.
Yeah.
That's
show
it.
me. Right.
All right. Okay. We will be right back after this.
It's called James. I host English news every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. My dear brothers, sisters, my dear fellow Americans. This summer is, in particular, year of 2020 is really, really an odd year. That we have all kinds of disasters, right?
Yes, that's true.
And by Mother Nature,
Yes.
man-made, by misconduct, by everything, including now we're facing or we're entering into the period of the presidential election,
Yes, sir.
which is a major, major event every 4 years in our political life. Speaking of the political life, though, political life, as a matter of fact, is our life. It's our day in, day out life. Okay. Now, with my friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, a political commentator, we're talking about the convention of Democratic Party for the past 2 days, Monday and Tuesday night, evening. Of course, in this evening, it will continue. But
Yes.
right now, we're talking about the past 2 evenings.
Yes.
In the past 2 evenings, what caught my eye so directly, or so, I mean, first freshly, then with lots of desperation,
Yes, sir.
was the speech by Bernie Sanders and Michelle Obama. Okay, I'm checking with him, who's been watching all the way.
Every minute.
And except me, I went to the bathroom for tea, for coffee, answering phones, eating out things. So I want to make sure that I did not miss anything.
Yes, sir.
The only thing I'm double checking with him, with my friend Ken Hemming, is that had there been a moment when any of them, in the meantime of pointing out Donald Trump was doing wrong, give something
Yeah.
that they would handle in a different way.
They actually don't. And Donald Trump on January 31st stopped planes coming from China into America. They were still flying all over Europe, and that's how the virus got all over Europe. And every one of them disagreed with that at the time, and yet that saved thousands of lives.
What would Donald Trump say? It's brand new to human race.
It was.
The only ones who knew that did not say anything.
No, I know.
Right, that's the problem.
Yeah. So,
right?
that's
another
decision,
day, another subject, another day.
Okay,
but
that
but
decision was huge.
I'm not just taking the defense of Donald Trump. I'm talking about
it's
as a
obvious.
natural person to face something totally brand new to the entire human race.
It was.
The only
Still is.
persons who know who knew it.
Yeah.
Did not want to say.
And then they complain about testing. We've tested 60 million people right now. That's 1 out of 6 in our country, or 1 out of 5.5. But then they also had Governor Cuomo of New York.
Did they mention about the push by Donald Trump for ventilation machine?
Not at all. They give zero credit to all the beautiful things that Donald Trump has done.
And also the face masks and the gloves and the
don't
social
forget,
distancing.
like in February, the end of February, Nancy Pelosi was in Chinatown in San Francisco saying, "Come on out, everything's fine. We can hug each other. There's no problem." That's about 25 days after we stopped letting planes to come from China and whatever. And then for a while they were saying masks aren't necessary, and we still don't know if they are.
Did Michelle Obama say anything? If she?
No, not one thing. She really never mentioned the virus. She didn't mention.
In other words, at least let's take care of them one by one. Okay.
Right. Yes, sir.
We have a list of all the speakers. Right.
I do.
Okay. Now, they spoke out for the fact that they go against Donald Trump.
Yes.
Right.
Out of blind hatred.
Yeah, blind hatred.
Blind hatred.
Or
not
blind,
logic.
Or blind disapproval.
No logic. Yes.
Let's be nice. Let's put it this way. After a blind disapproval.
That's fine. They do use the H word, but that's
very
fine.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's talk about another lady, AOC.
Well, she came on the next night, okay, on Tuesday. But I just want to say on Cuomo, Cuomo had glorified President Trump in helping in New York City, and then now he's saying that he did everything wrong and that he was a.
Oh, that's
quite sad.
The New York governor.
Yeah. And he is responsible for thousands of people dying because he forced nursing homes to take in COVID positive people and in the nursing homes they're old and they have underlying medical issues, and that's where you die. And there's thousands have died, at least 12, 13,000 and probably more in those nursing homes. 32,000 have died in New York.
Illogic. Illogic as far as logic is concerned, unless you show me something that's better than what I'm doing now.
That's right, and they've never made a statement about that.
Prevails.
Right, they haven't made a statement on that. They've only said whatever Trump did is wrong.
Cuomo hasn't done anything to back himself up.
He's been a massive failure in New York. In New York City with de Blasio
for the turn.
Did
he say anything about his turn? His switch?
No, not at all. No, he just switches.
From praising Donald Trump to hate Donald Trump?
Because the whole agenda of this convention is to demean President Donald Trump, is to show him in the worst thing. But the thing, now, Jack, let me tell you, when I'm watching this, I have to take my blood pressure about every 20 minutes because I hear so many lies that it's very upsetting to my system. So I've got my blood pressure thing right there, and I take it, and it doesn't go down over the couple hours I watch it. It goes up.
Has any of them mentioned the current deal made between Israel and the UAE?
Not a word. And it's a tremendous accomplishment.
Would anybody say, if I had been the president, I will do da 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 da,
No.
such and such.
And Jack, the other thing, they have not mentioned one word about the violence in all of these Democratic-run cities and states. Not one word about the violence, and they haven't mentioned one word about the obvious mental difficulties Joe Biden has. They glorify him as if he's Einstein.
Let's
in
slow
his
down. Let's slow down
Yeah.
a little bit. Let's slow down a bit.
But they mention nothing
Now
about
we
what's going
have-
on. Nothing.
Now we have almost a riot in
every night.
almost every night
Many cities.
in almost
Yeah.
all major cities.
90 straight days in Portland.
Right? Has anybody criticized that?
No.
Has anybody commented on that?
They deny it. Remember, Jack, I think last show or something, I said there was a 5-year-old boy, a little white boy, on a little on his bicycle. And the next door neighbors were a black family, and the one guy had even been for dinner the night before, and he came out and shot the kid in the head. They haven't even mentioned it on ABC, NBC, or CBS, or CNN, or MSNBC. They don't. When it's something where some black guy does something, or the mob, the Black Lives Matter mob, destroys, kills, burns, or whatever, they don't mention it. Everything's mostly peaceful. It's not mostly peaceful.
Okay. Anyway,
It's a total
as a
sham.
convention, as a convention.
Yeah.
You never forget that's national convention.
It is.
Yeah, at the national
Yeah.
level,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And when it is crowned with the name of the party,
Yes, sir.
is the party's national
Democratic
level
National Convention.
convention. It has to address every major issue of the nation.
And it won't mention one thing negative about Biden's mental ability or
Okay.
or the
For
tragic violence
For
they
me,
support.
I would at least think one thing.
Yeah.
Anybody would come on, please be my guest
Yeah.
to say something about the violence.
Well,
Quote unquote protest.
they don't live in denial. They just refuse to look. All they want, Jack, is power over the citizens of America. They want to take our Constitution away, our Bill of Rights. They want to take our weapons away, and they want to take our speech away. If you disagree with anything they say, you're a racist. They call you names.
Let's do not go that far.
Well, it's
all right?
true, but okay.
No.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
slow
okay.
down a bit,
Yes, sir.
okay? Let's do not go that far.
Okay.
Just to stay with the fact that
Yeah.
that I believe they have seen that violation already
100%.
with their own eyes, right?
And they
Okay,
ignore it
now,
on purpose.
When they do see something
Yeah.
that is bad, I know they know that's bad.
They do
and
know that's
I
bad.
know they know that we know they know that's bad.
That's well spoken. Yes, sir.
All right?
Well
Okay,
spoken.
now, from what kind of mind would be the guidance? Hey, shh, not to say it.
Because the only purpose of their existence right now, because see, Jack, when you said earlier that, well, you were pretty much on the left before, but see, the left now is not what it is now. You were a liberal, not a leftist then. You're liberal. Now it's leftist.
There's nothing left to right.
No, there's nothing left in the Democratic
All right.
Party that is pro-American.
Okay. Now let's assume.
Nothing.
Let's assume, if the GOP is behind the movement,
Which
would
movement?
they choose to remain the same silence?
No, of course. Look, we have honesty and integrity in the. It is
no,
not
no.
the GOP. It's just the basic Americans. These are not basic Americans anymore.
Once again,
They're revolutionaries.
Yeah, then once again, do not go that far. Let's assume,
Okay.
just assume,
Okay.
by one chance out of a million,
Yeah.
if the GOP was was behind the movement,
Well,
would they choose to keep the silence?
I don't believe so.
All right. Okay, my friend. All I want is a yes or no. Okay, my dear
Yes,
friend.
boss.
Let's take a moment now. We will come back. We will squeeze it until we get the juice out, or we
Yeah.
peel it until we see the core. Either way. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, my dear friends. We will be right back after this.
Everything expected. Continue to work on
My name is Paul James. I'm host of English News every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West with my dear friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, political commentator, book writer himself, and a CPA for life, and
Proudly.
a person that I respect a lot for his ideology, for his love to the Constitution. I'm saying that it is now at this very critical moment that will probably testify who you are
That's true.
and where you stand, what you have, what you can do. So put everything together. We're talking about the Democratic National Convention,
Wow.
which was for 2 days already, into its third night. Right. Got it. Now, I was asking my dear friend Ken Hemming, sometimes I just play politics blind,
Yes, sir.
right? Politics blind. I was just
like that.
taking the question towards a fact that why about 2 nights nobody mentioned about the
Nothing.
the violation,
The violence,
the violence,
rioting, murder.
the murder, the riot, the setting fires, arsons,
right.
so on and so forth, flipping off the cars,
Not a word.
and throwing beer bottles, stone rocks at the police officer, and go on,
Right.
so on and so forth. If you haven't seen any detail, all the details though, take the one shot by CNN, for example.
Right, yeah, I like
Well,
this.
CNN is their own media,
Yeah.
all right? And
is.
what they say must be true. They can't lie against themselves, right?
They
okay, now, okay, why wouldn't anybody during the past 2 nights mention anything about it?
Because they support it. They support the violence.
Okay, my second question, assuming if GOP
Yeah.
was behind it or had been behind it,
Right.
would they still choose the same manner of staying or keeping their kind-hearted silence?
But Jack, anybody that believes in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the foundation of America, the values of America, could never possibly even conceive of being a part of violence and evil like that. Impossible. So it's just, you know, and here's the thing, you know, they call the middle America, flyover America. The true evil really resides in the West Coast here, Washington, Oregon, California, run by radical leftists that hate America and want to destroy it. And then in New York and New Jersey, it's radically back there. But the millions of people in the middle of the country, they call them the flyovers, they're just basic Americans, okay? And they're just basic Americans that grow up and go to school and have opportunity and freedom. I have a friend of mine that's going to be taking a week from today the citizenship test, okay? Be interviewed to be a citizen in America. And she said, well, what do I want to say, you know, when you say, why do you want to be a citizen? Opportunity and freedom. Freedom, number one, and opportunity to succeed. She came here with nothing, and she's massively successful. I'm proud of people that do that. And she will say, I will be proud to be an American citizen. And so it's impossible for somebody like me or my brother or whatever to think in an evil, violent manner. It's impossible. We don't want to destroy America. We want to enhance our freedoms and opportunity.
Especially the
It's
kind of,
impossible.
especially the kind of me.
Yeah.
In my life, I've been cheated not once, not twice, not
Yeah.
3 times, not 100 times,
Yeah.
not 200 times. I told you in the previous show,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes.
We believed the sky was the green,
Yeah.
not blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Something like that kind. Okay.
Yeah.
So being cheated is the foundation of my life.
Yeah.
Right? Learning from that foundation,
Right.
I have formed myself a habit
Yes.
or habit or a hobby
Yes.
that for anything I would like to see first.
Yes, and you did not allow yourself, with whatever challenge you face, to become down, depressed, and a loser.
Yeah.
You fought back,
right.
and you're a total winner because you have the
Why-
power.
That's why
it's all attitude.
That's why I asked the
Yeah.
previous two questions.
Yes, sir.
Right. Number
That's
one,
good.
why they kept themselves such a silence, and number two,
They support it.
Had it been the GOP's behind the movement, though, would they still do the same silence?
And real Americans would never do what these guys look. The Democratic Party is not an American political party anymore. It's a foreign socialist, anarchist, hateful party. It's with look. Regular Democrats are fine. Regular Democrats.
Don't forget the word Marxism.
Well, yes, and exactly right. Good
That's
old
a-
Karl
that-
Marx.
That's a big. That's
Right.
a big word.
Yeah.
You can't afford to miss.
No, you can't afford to miss it.
Yeah,
because it's not American.
Because they claim themselves to be Marxists
Oh, they're proud of it.
and also train the Marxists.
In Marxism, the only way they get to be in power is through violence. You don't get it through intellectual dialogue, okay? And right now, I'm just going to say these kids that have been brainwashed in our school system, which is a disastrous brainwashing system right now, they're the same as the brown shirts in Germany way back when the youth all were excited about the Nazi party. Here they're excited about destroying America. There's no difference, and now even the violence is coming in just like it did in Italy and Germany. It's tragic.
Let's find out the agenda. All right, the agenda.
Okay.
What is the agenda behind it? What is the agenda behind them? If they say, I want to introduce a new constitution, right?
Well.
To the United States.
Okay.
I want to introduce a new policy into the state. Here is the policy, like that, right?
Yes.
So they show their agenda. Now that it looks to me that anti-Trump,
Yeah.
going against Trump is the only purpose.
Right, but their agenda is really to restructure America into a
All right.
governmental,
All right, good question.
controlled.
Good answer.
company.
Good answer to my question. Okay, I found it here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, transformation, right?
Right, that's the word.
From what to what?
Yeah,
From what to what?
from freedom and opportunity to submission to a totalitarian government. That's those words, like 9 words. That sums it up perfect. Transform from freedom and opportunity. I certainly believe this is the greatest country that's ever been created by mankind, and they're saying we're one of the worst countries ever created because they just try to find evil in everything we ever do and think of. And they're very, and so they want to transform it into a totalitarian, like Venezuela or North Korea or whatever, where the government has the power, and as a citizen, you either submit or they kill you. They would do that. I believe they would do that, or just submit you to very evil activities.
I give you what I learned recently.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I'll share with you. I'll share with my audience.
Right.
Okay. At my job, I can't prevent criticizing the government policies, or so on, so on, so forth.
Yes, sir.
Right. My criticism to the government, to the administration, had been mistakenly used by some people.
Yeah.
They thought I'm anti-governmental, right? They thought I'm anti-American,
Wow.
right?
You're a beautiful American.
Of course.
You're a beautiful American.
Of course, of course.
See, one.
Now,
Yeah.
these two leads me to a restructure of who I am,
Yes,
a
sir.
reanalysis of who I am.
Yes, sir.
I criticize the policy, I criticize the politics for the purpose of getting a better, stronger America.
I love that.
They may do the
support
same
that.
thing.
Yeah.
They may do the same thing, right, by criticizing for the purpose of killing America.
That's exactly the purpose.
Put an
Of
end to
destroying
America.
America. That's the purpose.
That's dangerous.
They kneel. Look, number one, the ratings for this convention for the first 2 nights are very low. Like some of the things like Tucker Carlson or Hannity, there are more people on Fox, there are more people watching that than are watching the convention, okay? It has been boring. it's been monotonous, it's been boring, and whatever virtual means, it's all just, it's kind of like a long commercial. It's a long commercial against cancer in Trump that they consider to be one and the same. It's a commercial. And it is boring. I mean, it's boring. And we'll see what happens the next two nights. But the ratings are very low.
In the commercial, people are not likely only to listen your slogan.
No, I know.
Listen to your slogan.
Right.
You have to show them something
Yeah.
which is hardcore, right?
Well, yeah. And also, since they're all pre-recorded, they don't allow one word to be stated, pro-America, pro-Trump, pro-freedom, pro-opportunity. It's all negative, and they have it controlled by being pre-recorded.
Okay, my dear friends, my lovely audiences, right now
Beautiful
we are
audience.
at the point of, I could say, very critical point. All right.
Life
And
or death. It's life or death.
Our days are numbered before this election, November the 3rd. We're talking about 2.5, a little bit more days. So at the voting day, when it comes to voting, though, what we shall do. Right now we have an issue of postal voting, all right, of absentee voting. So is our postal system that trustworthy? So stay with us, please.
My name is Paul James. I host English News every morning.
And a golden angel award ceremony.
Hello, dear folks, my lovely friends, my dear brothers, sisters. We love you so much. Me and my team working every single minute out of the day to make sure that we feed you with the first class information. When we say first class, we're saying that nowadays when you talk about media, you really have very numbered a handful, maybe less than a handful of those media who tells you the truth.
That's right. 5%.
And the other day, all of a sudden, I mean, all the way ever since presidency, I kind of blame Donald Trump for doing his tweeters. I said, you're president of the United States. You can move the globe.
You can't move the globe,
right?
It's true.
Why you are using your fingers to do the tweet? And that's not a president style. Okay, later I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Looking around when 95% of the media goes against him, though, his window shrunk to so little.
It's
only the screen like this.
Yeah.
This is only space.
It's his only way to talk directly to the people.
He can keep himself alive.
There's
Connecting
100 million people that watch, listen to him.
We don't have to blame him. We got to understand him.
Yeah.
All right. Now, speaking of the coming election, though, the Postal Service has been at question. All right. This morning on my way in, I heard a piece of news, brand new.
Yes, sir.
I promise that's a brand new. You never heard it before.
Yeah.
A guy was caught and pressed the charges as of yesterday of voting on behalf of his dead mother, who passed away in 2006.
Yeah.
Ever since all the way till 2016.
Jack, that's what evil does. That's what evil does. They don't believe in honesty, integrity, and propriety.
My question is that I'm not interested in the fact that there are bad guys.
Okay.
Right. My question, my interest, more lies in the fact: how come bad guys succeed?
I like that.
How come he wasn't caught 2012? He wasn't caught 2016.
Right. Well, and here's the reason. People are caught being bad. Now, I was a CPA, I am retired CPA, and the way corporations can succeed is through adequate internal controls that will identify fraudulent activity as well as weaknesses in efficiency. So, so here, we just don't have enough internal controls over the voting process. Now, the ideal way is you go in person and you vote. You show identification. You show your driver's license or something so they know you're a person, and then you vote, and then it's counted that same day.
That's exactly my point.
Right, and
My
we're
point
losing
being that with the man-made sorting
Yeah.
and the supervision, you even allow such a thing to happen.
Well, yeah, there's no real internal controls in the postal system because that's just paperwork
Of
ballots.
course.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So even with the manpower
Yeah.
controlling the whole thing, that thing could happen.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Well,
How are you going to prevent?
Well, somehow the
More
ballot.
happening in
Well,
the future.
because the ballots still kept going for this dead mother out to her house, or her son's house, because for registered voters, they're not culling that, which is taking out people that are dead or left the country or whatever. So there's so many people that aren't even functional anymore that are still considered registered, and that's why the Democrats right now want to send something out to everybody and have all these fictitious votes.
There's
It's
a backlog.
all purpose for
Yeah.
fraud.
There's a backlog of death information that has to be updated and yet not.
Yeah, and remember this. I've always said, look, I love our government. But the government almost does nothing efficiently because number one, it's hard to fire a government employee. So, like when I'm working as a free enterprise citizen, if I do something bad, I could get fired. It's very hard to. Like Trump made it where the VA people that had a lot of evil people working there, killing a lot of our veterans, purposely or accidentally through neglect. Now we fire them. So he's changed the whole culture, but the government just is not efficient because it doesn't have the profit motive. It just has, their main motive of government employees is retirement.
That is a basic.
Yeah.
That is a basic structure.
Yeah.
And on top of that, though, you have less employees.
Where?
I
Government?
mean, in the postal system.
Oh, well, they
You have
a lot-
less of funds.
Well, they have 100.
Right.
Oh, they got
You
14
have-
million. No, they got 14 billion in cash right now, enough to go 13 months without getting any more government support.
You have a backlog of information,
Yeah.
of death information
Not
that
processed.
needs to be processed,
right.
so that updated, so that man will no longer
Yeah.
be breathing.
Yeah. See,
So now,
yeah.
until that is done, can you really trust the postal service?
Well, it's you can't trust the system because the system does not provide. That's why you got to go there, show your ID, do it in person,
And
or
speaking-
apply for an
Speaking of the
absentee ballot.
system, it was also released this morning. There is 671 systems,
Okay.
voting systems,
Okay.
registrar systems
Okay.
that needs to be replaced.
Well, that's a lot. I don't know what that means.
671.
Yeah. Oh, you mean for the machinery and that? to
Yeah.
do it. Oh, yeah. No, it's
Not only the single machine.
Well,
I'm talking
right,
systems.
Yeah, it's
System of the
antiquated.
machine.
Yeah, there's not a lot of focus between elections to update and upgrade.
And now we're talking about
Yeah.
2.5
Yeah.
months.
See,
Right?
and now, like,
When this whole thing flooded in
yeah.
into the post office.
Yeah, and Jack, the main thing, the postal system has never been run very well, very efficiently. They lost billions of dollars every year, okay? And President Trump's right when he say they're not charging enough. Amazon and all these places with all this mail-out stuff, they're making tons of money that we're paying for because they're not charging the proper cost for delivery. And then they're talking about, they're taking down mailboxes or something. Well, when Obama was president, 14,000 mailboxes were deemed unnecessary and taken away, and whatever happened to it, because people are doing emails now, so you don't need to write a letter. People aren't writing as many letters anymore, obviously, so there's not as much postal
The other
need.
day, I heard a net advertising saying that in pretty soon there will be letters to you, your husband, and even your dog.
Well, I believe that's true. Yeah, right.
No, including your dog.
Even if you don't have a dog, you'll get one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So my whole question is that really such a big event, right? Historical
Yes.
event, can we really rely on a broken system?
I'll tell you, when we get to
It's a
November
broken
3rd,
system,
when we get
isn't
to
it?
November 3rd, I don't like it was 1:30 in the morning back in 2015 or 16 on the vote before they did declare Donald Trump the president. This is going to be a fiasco of resistance by the Democrats. I believe President Trump will win unless they're able to cheat enough or cause enough violence. I guarantee at the polling places where people go, there will be leftists that will be harassing and harming people lining up to vote. It's going to be warfare.
Back to 2016.
Yes, boss.
All right. If I had been in the mind of whoever be the president, let him or herself be. Because
Sure.
I heard
You can-
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I heard enough of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I heard enough of Hillary Clinton.
I heard all of our-
Right?
yeah.
So I finally came to a conclusion and say, hey, whoever be the president, let him or herself be.
But see, that's what
Now,
regular Americans
I'm
do.
not finished yet.
Yeah.
Now I'm worried because I heard one side, I've seen one side, I've never heard a single word from the other side, and yet we have 2 months left.
We're getting down to the very soon, and we're going to do a show, I hope, on November 4th, the day after the election, which is a Tuesday. And holy cow, I don't know what we're going to be saying.
This morning I came across
I
a
begged
piece
for
of
that show.
This morning I came across a piece of news, AP News.
Yes.
Talking about Democratic National Convention.
Yes, sir.
The reporter at the very end says, well, it may not be so, right? Like 2016, Donald Trump is their biggest change, biggest
Upset
upset
in the history of this world.
history
country.
of history of surprise.
Yeah, it was huge. I
Right.
believed he was going to win. I made some money on little bets on that.
Oh yeah, you did.
I just believed he was going to win because I just couldn't believe Hillary just had so many negative things, and Joe Biden has. I mean, Joe Biden has become a very rich man by being bought by China and
All
by
right.
being bought by the
Yeah,
Ukraine.
yeah.
He has.
We haven't had time to talk about problem yet.
But we will.
And
Soon.
we will.
Next
with
week.
the problem with the blank of their plan, what to do.
Right.
Americans need an answer.
We do.
Americans demand an answer. Hey, come on, show me.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, my dear friends, we love you. We thank you for your time watching. And to my dear friend, Mr. Ken Hemming, thank you very much for sharing. I love this information. I love this discussion. And let's see, next Monday, right after the convention,
After
let's
this
talk
is
about
over. Yeah.
another one, right? Okay, okay.
Thank
Next
you.
time.
Thank you.